ACOM is serving just over 4,000 customers in that mid-market space. So let's take a look for a moment of ACOM's online marketing results. If you look at the figures on the screen, you'll see that almost half of our closed business, half of our active sales funnel, and more than half of all of our leads come from online marketing. Search engine optimization is one of the key drivers we use to achieve those results. And what perhaps is most important about this is that the cost for those results is a mere fraction of what we pay for the other half. Okay? So how does this relate to you, our partners? Well, basically, our goal is to help you, our partners, drive your business profitably by implementing techniques such as those as discussed in today's webinar. For our partners, okay, we provide an online marketing toolkit that will help you drive traffic to your site and improve the percentage of visitors that take action, those known as conversions. This was covered in one of our previous webinars. Okay. We offer a full set of tools and resources, including ready-to-go campaigns that help you launch and manage online marketing programs that will help grow your business. Today's webinar is just one example of the type of support that we do provide to our partners. If you'd like any additional information on this or any of our online marketing programs, please feel free to contact us directly. Contact information is available at our website, acom.com, and will be posted at the end of today's webinar. So now let's get to our speaker, Carl Kleinbach, and let me say a word about Carl. Okay. Carl is our Senior Online Marketing Manager at ACOM, and he is an active member of the online marketing community. He's the former marketing chairperson of the Web Analytics Association, and he is a featured contributor for OnlineMarketingConnect.com. As you can see from the screen, okay, he has certifications in several online marketing areas, including search engine optimization. So now it's my pleasure. Let me introduce you to Carl Kleinbach. Carl?
Thank you, Jim. I'd like to welcome everybody to this webinar focusing on SEO. I'm really excited to be sharing this one with you guys because we've had a lot of success with this, and I really see an opportunity for the VARs to leverage their existing web presences and really get a lot more mileage out of the websites that they do have out there. So to start with, let's just dig right in. What is SEO? There's a nice definition here. SEO is the practice of optimizing the internal and external aspects of a website with the intent of increasing the traffic the site receives from search engines. Boiled down, really what that means is you're going to play with stuff on your web pages, on your website as a whole, but you will also do some other things outside of your website to increase the presence of your organization on the internet. Now, search engine optimization, then the next natural question is, okay, so the search engine and SEO, if I do get listed, where am I going to show up? You can see from the screen here in the green the organic or natural search results. This is what we're focused on today. This is where you're going to make the adjustments and try and move up the rankings and show up in that area. The other areas are the ones in the red dotted lines are the paid search results across the top and down the right-hand side. It's also a viable tool and actually useful for SEO, but we won't be focusing on that today. That was the subject of a previous webinar. So why bother with SEO? You know, it's interesting. The bottom line here is you don't have to be alone anymore. Your website doesn't have to be alone anymore. It's really been interesting for me as I see different VARs and we look at their websites. Oftentimes they don't even show up in search for their own company name. And these are things that are easily addressed, and really it doesn't have to be the case. Beyond that, the people who are looking to buy your services, they're looking online as a part of their purchase process. Here's a survey from Marketing Sherpa indicating 98% of B2B technology buyers are using Google as a part of that purchase process. 80% of them all the time. So how big is search? I mean, how much traffic are we talking about? This is the result of some ComScore research from April of this year. And it showed 14.8 billion searches in America alone. That's a tremendous number, and it's still growing. Another survey indicated that search year over year despite the economic conditions, has still gone up about 28% across engines, and for Google up an incredible 38%. Now, more specifically, as it pertains to the products and services that you provide, a lot of you say provide ERP software and that sort of thing. Here's one example of the search volume. Now, this is just 9 keywords for the month of January. These 9 key phrases generated nearly 75,000 searches. That's 75,000 opportunities to get in front of somebody who's actually looking for that solution. Why do you want to do SEO versus paid ads beyond the obvious that SEO is free? Well, the reality is B2B buyers are 4 times more likely to click on the organic results. And the higher you rank, the more clicks you're going to get. I know it sounds obvious, but what's not obvious is the extent of the increase. 27% of the folks will click on a top organic listing. I mean, that's nearly double the number that are going to click on all the paid ads combined, and that's typically about 12 to 13 per page. Here's an example of how much money SEO can save you. The key phrase EDI software for us, in 2008, we received nearly 1,900 visitors on this phrase. I ran a search on Google to get an idea of what the going rate for the clicks on that phrase up at the top rankings, and it was $12.58. Our estimated savings for 2008 were $23,000. Multiply that out for the over 4 years we've retained that ranking on that key phrase, and you're talking about $100,000 plus just on one key phrase. That's free exposure. Now, I wanted to come up with a metaphor, make this a little bit more memorable and interesting to go through this rather than really get into the technical details. I consider search engine optimization to a little bit like getting elected. Now, the first thing I'm going to tell you is dispense with the tricks. They're only going to get you in trouble. You want to win the election, do it the right way. This is a strategic initiative. This is not some little tactical thing you're going to undergo. It isn't a quick hit and walk away. So you're way better off if you do it right and just progressively grow your search engine optimization program. To start winning the election, you need to choose issues that are important to your constituents. In your case as a VAR, what is it, the solution that you're offering that's important to your prospect? You're going to want to focus on those key phrases and keywords. So how are you going to know which ones to select? There's a number of sources for keywords. The first one would be your website. If you have analytics in place, you also usually will have a section where you can see what keywords people used when they searched for your site and came to it. Typically your collateral, data sheets, case studies, there'll be a keyword frequency. You'll see a certain pattern, see certain phrases continue to show up. A great place is also competitors' websites. And there's a number of online tools, paid and free, that can help you do this. Here's 2 that are paid. One's called SpyFu, the other one's called Compete.com. If you want to find them, you can do a Google search on them and you'll be able to get the link pretty quickly. In this case, the image you see on the screen is from Keyword Discovery, and you can start to get a feel for who's out there advertising on certain phrases. And then you drill into that particular website and you can see what phrases they're targeting and which ones they're getting the most traffic from. It's not perfectly accurate, but again, what we're trying to do is just find a shortcut to quickly develop a relevant keyword list that's effective. There's a couple other tools, Keyword Word Tracker, Keyword Discovery. Both of these are paid. You put a few keywords in there and it'll greatly expand that list beyond even like your top keywords, and you'll see the supporting keywords, which is important as you start trying to support the top keywords that you're targeting. Google's got a great tool. This is free. Actually, the URL is on the next page, but you could do a search on Google Keyword Suggestion Tool, and you're going to be able to find this. In this case, On the screen you can see that the word we're targeting is document management. Let's see, try this little guy here. That's not working. Anyway, you do a search on document management. Down below you're going to see the different phrases that are related to that, the relative search volume on each one, and get a good idea of which words you should target. Now we also mentioned using websites to find keywords. You can either put in your own website, you see highlighted in yellow here the area that you would use of that keyword tool, or you can use your competitors' websites, and it's going to go through that website and take a look at the words that appear on there, how often they appear, and give you some good insight into some words that you can target. After you've selected the keywords that you want to target, you need to make your position known to win the election. In this case, say you offer document management solutions, ERP integration, and you're in Boston and you offer Dynamics Great Plains services. Well, you're going to want to make those positions known. So what are the elements that you're going to optimize to make your position known? Essentially your banners, your vote for me buttons, your billboards. The big one, HTML page title tag. You look here and we've got a screenshot, and you see the blue bar across the top of the web page screenshot in the browser there. And it says accounts payable, automation, imaging, OCR, and so forth. That's where the HTML page title tag will display when somebody views the page. You can also see immediately above that what a search result looks like, and highlighted in yellow, again, it's that same information. Typically about 70 characters will show in Google, so you may want to tailor that to be that long or less. Certainly you want to make sure the important keywords are on the front of that, and in descending order as you move through. Don't target more than 2 or 3 keywords in a title tag. Another tool you can use is a meta description tag. Not so much, in fact almost not at all, because it's going to help you with your ranking in terms of search. But the reality is this is what people are going to see underneath what displays for that title tag when they look, when they do their searches and the results come up. Try and keep it under 160 characters and make sure that your keywords also appear in that meta description. If you do that, you can essentially tailor the ad that shows up in the search result to be much more like an advertisement and greatly increase the number of clicks you get as a result. You can rank lower than a competitor, but if you've got a better meta description, you're going to get more click-throughs. Here I've included an example. The first one you can see from BI Software is just what it did was it pulled random text from the page. They didn't have the meta description tag optimized, and so it was random. Now down below you can see SAS, and they did it quite well. And it doesn't take a genius to figure out who's going to click on which ad. Another thing you have under your control is link anchor text. These are the hyperlinks that you put on your page. It can be a part of your navigation if you have text navigation. It can also be just as part of the content. You have links to various other pages in your site. What you want to do is try and insert your key phrases into that link anchor text. In this case, we're looking at HTML code, and you can see document management solutions is inserted into the tags there, and then you can see what it looks like on the page, just like a regular link, except you've specified the keywords that are appearing there. Title tags. These are, if you look at the HTML, your H1 through H6 tags. Again, you're going to want to target your keywords with these. Try and move them to the beginning of the phrases. Use your primary keywords in your heading title tags, your H1 tags. Supporting keywords would then go in H2 and lower. Now, sometimes these title tags, the fonts can be very, very big. The colors are a little obnoxious. You can use what's called a CSS style sheet to format that. If you don't know what it is, find out whoever's working on your website and have them do it. Image alt tags. When you insert an image in your web page, as part of making it available for people who are vision impaired and so forth, there's a little tag that's part of an image tag. It's called an alt tag, and it'll actually allow you to insert a text description of that image in the place of the image should images not show up. Now you can actually insert some key phrases into this as long as they're relevant to the image and you're not stuffing it. This is also another way to indicate to Google or the other search engines really what the focus of that page is. Now continuing trying to get elected here, we need a little campaign leadership. Now it looks like we got an auto forward here. I apologize for that. What I mean by campaign leadership, there's a number of facets to this. One is you want to make your home page lead your campaign with respect to your site optimization. You're going to use your biggest, most heavily trafficked or most heavily searched on key phrases in your text links on your home page. From there, on subpages that you link to, you will then use topical groups, link to topical groups and support that key phrase. And beyond that, those will link to more specific, focused content. You can see here just kind of the way we broke it out, document management, a couple big subsections, that would be imaging and records management. Under imaging, you're going to find OCR, document scanning, and so forth. You're going to organize your campaign volunteers. In this case, that's all the pages on your website. You're going to use all those pages to spotlight your primary keywords. The way you're going to do that is have those pages link back up to your primary topic pages and also your home page using the keywords that you're targeting. To succeed, you're going to need to get some popular support. This is one of the ways that Google evaluates the relevance and strength of your website or trust is inbound links. Now there's a number of places you can go to get build your links, a number of tactics you can use. But honestly, your expertise is by far the best source of links. If you create very good content, articles about services or needs that your customers have that offer advice, and let other people know about that, they're going to link by, they're going to share those links, bottom line, on blogs and so forth. Another thing that's really effective is top 10, 20, and 50 lists. These are a little bit easier to put together. It can just be even a list of links that you find to be very high quality and very useful as it pertains to a particular topic. And the other is to just create your own blog. Another way that Google determines rank in their algorithm is endorsements. When we say endorsements, really what we're talking about is inbound links of high trust. Links from Yahoo and DMOZ or the Open Directory Project. I apologize for these forwards, guys. Links from .edu, .gov, and .org websites. If you know anybody, if you have any customers who fall into these classifications, whether they're in education, government, or they're an association, if you can get a link from these guys as they're a customer of yours, it's really, really going to be helpful for you. And then the other would be just links from relevant websites that have a very strong web presence. Now, here we take a little sideline and we say no illegal contributions. Link farms, there's a number of web places where you can buy links back to your website. I'm not saying that this isn't effective sometimes, but it's a very dangerous approach, and you've got to be pretty savvy to know which ones to avoid and which ones not to. Measurement and metrics. With all of these online marketing initiative webinars, one of the things I really emphasize is you need to put some analytics and some web metrics in place on your website. In this case, it's going to show you where your visitors are coming from, which other websites, which search engines. It's going to be able to show you which words convert best in terms of people submitting forms to inquire and request more information. And it'll also help you determine which words you want to target. There's some great tools out there, again, Google Analytics, and more recently now I'm roundly recommending Yahoo Analytics. They're both very, very powerful tools. You can see the URLs there, or you could just do a search on Google Analytics or Yahoo Analytics and pretty quickly find those tools. you would have paid easy 5 figures for tools with the capabilities that these things have just a couple years ago. Now this is outside of our little campaign metaphor, but it's an important thing, and it's pretty easy to fix, but I want to bring it to your attention. Essentially, Google is going to look at the content footprint of your website, the number of pages, the key phrases that appear in it, and so forth. What can happen is actually if you have got a bunch of links pointing back to your site from other websites, some going to www.yoursite.com, and other ones just going to yoursite.com, that may resolve correctly in their browser and they may see your website fine, but what Google sees is 2 separate websites, and what they see is duplicate content. That's going to really, it's going to play havoc. You may end up getting a penalty for duplicate content, but probably more likely what's going to happen is it splits those votes between the 2 parties, www and non-www, effectively cutting in half the number of inbound links you've got to any one site and really hurting your rankings. Google has made this really easy to fix with respect to their search results. They've got a tool, a set of tools really, and it's called Google Webmaster Tools. There's a link right there. You can search on Google Webmaster Tools, and they're going to allow you to specify your preferred domain. You can see here we've specified it as www. Now there's a techie fix for this. There's a file you can put up on your web server. It's called an htaccess file. In that you're going to want to use what's called a 301 or permanent redirect. Now sometimes it can seem like it's way too much to bite off to get into this. Can you get into this search engine optimization program initiative and succeed, particularly for smaller businesses? The marketing guy's wearing a lot of hats. What are you going to do? Can you do it? Well, as someone who wears a lot of hats and works for not a huge organization, I can definitely testify, yes, you can succeed. This is Microsoft's new website, their new search engine that they just launched with a $100 million advertising campaign, and it's supposed to be their latest and greatest, more accurate. In this case, this is a search for document management. And out of 107 million results, on page 1, ACOM has 2 listings, number 7 and number 10. On Google, this is a search for payment software. This is out of almost 24 million results. And again, here we are, number 2. You can compete with some really big players and win here. In this case, we're actually targeting a phrase that's IBM's really. It's AS400 content management. People searching on that or iSeries content management or even document management, the first results they're going to see there above IBM is actually ACOM. And you know, while it pleases me to talk about this and give myself a nice pat on the back, the reality is what I want to communicate is you can compete too. Now, because you guys typically VARs are going to be offering their services and solutions on a local level, you're going to want to optimize for what's called local search. Now, there's a great reason you want to do this is if anybody uses some sort of a local parameter or geographic parameter in their search criteria, say they include a state name or a zip code or anything else, and then the rest of that search phrase, local search results will actually show up above the regular organic results. If you've optimized for that, you're going to appear above everybody else, nationwide or worldwide. Now, I didn't have really the time. I had to cut this short a little bit to get into the tips for local search. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to put a page up, and it'll have some tips in terms of targeting local search, and I may include a couple other things from this presentation, as well as a description of our next presentation about web analytics, which I really advocate you check out. I'm going to go into some of the free tools and setting them up. The link for the local search is going to be acom.com/SEO. To recap some of the keys for success, if you have a pay-per-click campaign running, you can go ahead and target the keywords that were successful in that. Basically, that's a great way of validating some of the keywords that you've got out there. Go ahead and leverage that and target that with your search engine optimization. Make sure the search engines can crawl your website. you need those text links. You got to have those votes. You got to get that popular support, build reputable, relevant, again, relevant inbound links. You don't need inbound links from Joe's Tobacco Shack or whatever website is out there. Make sure you use your top keywords in your HTML page title, headers, in your body copy, that's just whatever copy's on the page, and your link text. Leverage that expertise that you've got. People are hungry for that. They're looking for it. Go ahead and create it. Get it up on your website. Share it. Let people who blog know about it. Just with a link, if they're blogging about a particular topic that's relevant to an article that you've created, let somebody know that that's out there in the comments of that blog. Now, it may really seem daunting to try and write your own articles and so forth, but another thing you can do is basically go to Elance or any other number of websites where you can find people who freelance and will write those things for you. Get on the phone, talk to them, tell them what you want to communicate, let them write it. It's really quite affordable. And the best advice I'm going to give you in terms of SEO is this is not about smoke and mirrors. This is not about tricks. Take a very strategic long-term view. Be natural and grow your web presence over time. Add content. Tune your website to the content. Tune your website and your text links and all those title tags and so forth to the focus of the content on your website. If your website is not about Britney Spears, you shouldn't have Britney Spears in your title tag and so forth just to get that search traffic on your site. Make sure it's relevant. Your search results and your rankings are going to last for years that way, as opposed to getting up there and then being down next week. Now, I firmly believe that almost any organization can take this on and get it done. What I would submit to you, though, is we can actually make it a lot easier. One of the things we offer VARs as a part of our VAR Success Program is a free website review and recommended changes report. Now, this review is going to be covering a number of things, including SEO. So it's something that you can really leverage and get a lot of mileage out of, and see some significant improvements as a result of taking action on the recommendations in it.
Thanks, Carl. This was a great webinar. Hopefully everybody picked up a few important tips they can start working on right away. For more information about ACOM's VAR Success Program, please visit acom.com/channels or contact Catherine Bedrosian. And remember to sign up for the next Marketing University webinar for VARs titled Web Analytics for Busy VARs, How to Track Your Website Leads. Again, as an added bonus for our signed VARs who attended today's webinar, or for those of you who join ACOM's VAR Success Program, we are offering a free website review. Simply send an email to csm@acom.com with the subject line Free Website Review. In case you missed something in today's webinar or you have other people that you would like to share this information with, we will be sending you an email later this week with a link to the recorded version of today's webinar. If you have any questions you want to ask, we're going to stay on for just a couple extra minutes to answer those. Otherwise, please be sure to fill out the exit survey, as this will really help us improve on the next webinar for you. And thank you for attending.